Welcome to another episode of Asia Unscripted. This is part 2 of our walking tour of Baguio City. We've been walking along a road called Session Road, and we're going to continue the walking tour here. And there's one of the locals' hotels, City Center Hotel. Personally, I'm staying in an Airbnb. I'm not a fan of the hotels here. We will actually go down this way. This is one of the jeepney stations here, so kind of like a transfer center in America, you know, where all the buses meet up. Well, jeepneys are the public bus in the Philippines, so this is where you would catch a jeepney to other parts of the city. And I think I will do a video on riding a jeepney. Since it's not hot here, I think I can manage a jeepney. If it was hot like Cebu or Manila, then probably not. But I might do that in a future video. I'm still pondering that. So the jeepneys, the side of the jeepneys tell you where they're going to go. So this one goes up to Mines View, which I'll do a video on at some point. Mines View is up higher, at a higher elevation, and very beautiful scenery up there. So maybe that's what I'll do. I'll take the jeepney up there at some point. The side of the jeepney will always tell you where it's going. In Cebu, the jeepneys have a number and letter code that tells you what route they're doing, similar to a bus in the States. But here you just look at the side and you look at the destination, and then you pretty much know where you're going. So that's still convenient. If you go online, you can even find a system map of where all the jeepneys go. So the jeepneys, they can be colorful, especially up in Manila. They go all out in Manila. I will be in Manila next week, so I can show you guys a little bit about that. Crossing another street over here. Alright. We are safe. I don't know if you guys can see very well, but behind that Jollibee sign is that SM Mall that we were at in the previous video. So that mall actually sits up on a hill. I believe before it was a mall, it was a hotel that was up there, and the hotel was destroyed in a pretty big earthquake that they had here in 1990. This is earthquake country, so that was like a 7-point something. So that could happen here anytime. Anytime. It's just one of the risks of living in the Ring of Fire. Same risk if you're in Seattle or Portland or California. So it's not any more dangerous here for that than in the States. Alright, it's kind of cool down here. They have some skywalks, so you don't have to cross the street. You don't see too many of those in the Philippines. I've seen them in Hong Kong, I've seen them in other places, but not here. So that signifies that this is one of the busier places in the city. I do believe this street is also where the night market is. I'll do a video on that too. So Baguio has a night market, a lot of food, clothing, stuff like that. It's kind of kind of an interesting sight because everybody's bundled up because, oh no, it's 60 degrees and it's winter time. Me, I'm still walking around in t-shirt and shorts. I love this type of weather. All right. So across the street, we got another hotel. This is one of the more premier hotels downtown, I guess, from what I understand. There's some colorful jeepneys right there, waiting at the stoplight. This is another place to catch jeepneys, going in another direction of the city. So this is another good place to people watch. So just like a bus, you see the jeepney you need and you just hop on. They are open air. You can sit in the front if you want. I prefer the front seats if I can. It's not as cozy as sitting in the back. So you see, every jeepney looks very different. It's up to the owner how they're going to design their jeepney. So, and then they have one guy that's trying to get people to ride his jeepney. It is a little bit competitive. Look how beautiful these jeepneys are. Very beautiful. It's not like the city bus in America where 90% of the buses look the same. Here it's every jeepney is different. And to ride a jeepney, it's about 8 or 9 pesos, which is roughly 20 cents. 20 cents. All right, so we made it to a park called Burnham Park. I'm gonna do a separate video for this park. Just to give you a brief overview before I end the video. This park was actually created by an American named Daniel Burnham. He created or designed some buildings in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C. So he's a pretty well-known, well, back in his time, pretty well-known designer. So one of his projects here in Baguio was this park named after him. So we'll take a walk around the park in the next video. There's so many videos I can do here in Baguio. I look forward to bringing them to you. I really appreciate all of you guys who subscribe to this channel, who check out every video that I do. I really do appreciate it. So here goes the jeepney in action. Oh, by the way, the jeepney it's a vehicle that originated during or after World War II. There was a bunch of these American Jeeps that were left over after the war, and the Filipinos were trying to figure out what to do with all these Jeeps. So they converted them into these jeepneys. Of course, most of these aren't from 70 or 80 years ago, but the idea still thrives today. It's just a cheap way to get people around. You don't need anything fancy. Would any of these be roadworthy in the West? Hell no. But it works for a country like the Philippines. People don't have a big income, so they still need to get around to go to work and do things cheaply. So the jeepney is definitely a help. All right, so stay tuned for the next video, Burnham Park. Thanks for watching another episode of Asia Unscripted, and I will see you guys again soon.